Recently, we saw a very big controversy in which a Supreme Court Justice, uh, Chief Justice of India, Jamshed Burjor Pardiwala, he gave a judgment that Nupur Sharma has caused lot of communal tensions in India, and all the beheadings that have happened of innocent Hindus is because of Nupur Sharma's blasphemous comments on the Islamic so called Prophet Muhammad. I would first like to ask Chief Justice of India Jamshed Burjor Pardiwala, who is a Muslim, does he know the context in which Nupur Sharma supposedly said something negative against Prophet Muhammad? I would like to ask him this question. The entire context is something like this. On a national television during prime time, a particular debate was going on. Gyan Vyapi Masjid and Gyan Vyapi Mahadev Shivling, Kashi Vishwanath Shivling, and Kashi Vishwanath Mandir dispute. In the context of that, there was a specific debater, a jihadi called Maulana Sharif Uddin, who often comes on several televisions and newspapers and spews hatred against Hindus. He said that Hindus see Shivling everywhere, and he even urged that Hindus must not worship Shivling because it is the ling, the private part, the genitalia, the phallus of Shiva. It was in this context that Nupur Sharma, a proud Hindu woman, naturally and obviously reacted. But I think that Nupur Sharma reacted politely. She did not say anything blasphemous against Prophet Muhammad. Nupur Sharma reacted politely because if she wanted, she could have also given reference to a specific hadith which says that Muhammad used to view and kiss the penis of infant Al-Hussein. But instead of that, the well-informed Nupur Sharma, she just restrained herself and contained herself by just saying that Quran talks about unscientific things like flat earth theory, geocentricity model. That is, she just said that Quran is teaching science like earth is flat, like a table, and that the sun is moving around the earth and not that earth is moving around the sun. She did not say anything else. And she also said one small thing, that a 50 years old Prophet Muhammad married his best friend Abu Bakr's 8 years or 9 years old daughter Aisha. This thing is confirmed by Islamic scholars, by Sharia, by Quran, by Hadith, by Sahih Hadith Bukhari, by Sahih Muslim, and also by Jihadi Dr. Zakir Naik. So what did she say that was blasphemous? It's a fact that Prophet Muhammad pedophiliacally married 8, 9 or max to max 10 years old Aisha when he was 50 years old. This is a fact of Islamic history and it is not something blasphemous. If you consider it blasphemous, then you must, every Muslim, every jihadi must forego walking the path of that man called Muhammad who committed such a blasphemy. So, in the eyes of every logical person, Nupur Sharma did not do any crime, sin, taboo, blasphemy or sacrilege. Nupur Sharma may have also commented, let us assume for the sake of argument, that Nupur Sharma also committed on Muhammad marrying Zainab. Zainab was the daughter-in-law of Muhammad and he married her. If Nupur Sharma would have said this, even then it was correct because it's a fact. If Nupur Sharma would have talked about nikah halala or nikah al-muta, nikah al-hajj, nikah al-misyar, nikah istibdad, then also she would have been correct. If Nupur Sharma would have talked about triple talaq, she would have still been correct. If Nupur Sharma would have talked about jihad, she would have been correct. If Nupur Sharma would have talked about Ghazwa-e-Hind or Ghazwatul-e-Hind, she would have been 100% correct. If Nupur Sharma would have talked about Prophet Muhammad kissing and sucking the penis of Hussein, that would have been also correct because it is mentioned in Shia Hadith. So you see that Nupur Sharma was vindicated by Islamic sources themselves. So on what grounds should Nupur Sharma apologize? Just because she is a Hindu and she is showing a mirror to Islamic society? Or because you, Chief Justice of India, Jamshed Burjor Pardiwala, are a Muslim and you cannot tolerate a Hindu Nupur Sharma retorting back to your jihadi kinsman? So the nutshell is that a jihadi abused Shivling and Shiv. Nupur Sharma reacted politely and she also talked about the fact of Aisha and Muhammad's scandal, sex scandal. Nothing wrong. So it means that Muslims all over the universe have the birthright to abuse Hindu gods and goddesses, but Hindus will have to suffer it silently or else it's going to be the fatwa of Sir Tanse Juda. And by your judgment, Chief Justice of India Jamshed Burjor Pardiwala, you have just proved that the suspicion of us Hindus is absolutely correct. You said that Nupur Sharma is responsible for all the riots and pogrom after her comments. But who is the person actually responsible? The actual person responsible is your jihadi Maulana Sharifuddin, because it was he who first abused Shiv and Shivling, and to salvage the honor of Hindus and Hinduism and Hindustan and Hindutva, Nupur Sharma said what she had to say with logical facts. So you should first ask Maulana Sharifuddin to apologize, not Nupur Sharma. You should first ask Maulana Sharifuddin to apologize for abusing Shiv and Shivling before even thinking of asking Nupur Sharma to say sorry. Now I would like to ask a few small questions that if you think that by giving this judgment, you, Chief Justice of India Jamshed Burjor Pardiwala, you have given a very fair statement. By your logic, any rapist will say that because a woman was beautiful, I raped her. Because you are saying that Nupur Sharma said something blasphemous, hence Muslims are killing Hindus. So by your logic, a rapist will come to your court and you will acquit him, saying because the rape victim was beautiful, so the rapist raped him. If there is such a case, then you, as per your logic, you will say that a Hindu was wealthy, so a poor Muslim looted him. You will say that a Hindu was weak and defenseless, hence a Muslim or a jihadi mugged him and robbed him. You will, by that logic, also justify Ghazwa-e-Hind and say that because in ancient times Hindus were idolaters and Hindus were rich, Hindustan was a rich country, hence jihadi Arabs and Muhammad Ghazni invaded Hindustan. So this logic is absolutely illogical, and this judgment against Nupur Sharma stinks of jihadi mentality. You are saying that because Nupur Sharma spoke some facts based on Islamic texts. Muslims are justified in killing Hindus and they should kill Hindus by your logic. And you say that Nupur Sharma should apologize for her blasphemous comments against Muhammad. Then I would like to ask you, you are a Muslim. Have you ever apologized for Ghazwa-e-Hind? Have you ever apologized for 26/11 by your jihadi clansmen? Have you ever apologized for the Jammu Kashmir pogrom by your jihadi brethren? Have you ever apologized for the partition of Hindustan by your Islamic friends? Have you ever apologized for the atrocities done by Mahmud Ghaznavi, Aurangzeb, Alauddin Khilji, Tipu Sultan, Kalapahar, because they were your jihadi ancestors? Have you ever done that? Then on what grounds are you asking Nupur Sharma to apologize for murders done by jihadis? If jihadis are hurt by Nupur Sharma's comments, then they should drag her to court. They should write books, articles, vlogs, blogs, videos, publish them, write e-articles and refute her. Killing Hindus is not the reply. That is not the logical solution. And if you are justifying it, then you don't deserve to sit on the seat of Chief Justice of India, of Supreme Court. You understand that? Second thing is that you asked Nupur Sharma to apologize for blaspheming or slandering Muhammad. Did you ever ask the Muslims to apologize for beheading Taylor Kanhaiya Lal and Amravati-based chemist Umesh Kolhe, who were beheaded, whose heads were sliced off by your jihadi ilk? Your father was a congressman in 1980 and he was an MLA as well as a speaker. So did you ever apologize for the crimes done by Congress in spewing Hindu-Muslim riots in Gujarat in 1960, 69, 1981, 1985, 1982, 1992, 1986, 2006, 2015 and 2002? Did you ever ask the Muslims to apologize for the Godhra train carnage? Did you apologize as a Muslim Chief Justice of India for the Godhra train carnage? Then how are you, on what moral grounds are you asking Nupur Sharma to apologize for a crime, for a non-crime that she has committed, that is of saying truths against Prophet Muhammad? Did Nupur Sharma ask those Muslims to kill Hindus? Did she give them the weapons? Then why should she apologize? If you are not apologizing for the crimes of Congress and for your jihadi fraternity, then Nupur Sharma should also not apologize for the truth that she has spoken about the sex scandal between Aisha and Muhammad and the nescience in Islamic core book, that is Quran. Then in the end, I would mean to say that by your judgment, you have proved one fact, that Muslims consider it their birthright to abuse Hindus and expect Hindus to be silent towards slanders given on their pantheon. You have also proved that even if a person is highly educated like you still, every jihadi will still have a jihadi mentality. In spite of his profession, in spite of his intellect, his education, and in spite of the august positions the government has given to him. By this judgment, you have proved that even educated Muslims have the Ghazwa-e-Hind and Sharia mentality in their soul. You have proved that the statements of Hindutvawadis, that jihadis and Muslims can never be honest and they can never be bearers of justice, has been proved by this particular court verdict. And it also means that people like you, Muslims like you, whenever they are in powerful seats, powerful places, designations, posts, you will always accelerate your jihadi strategy. So in the end, I would like to say that we all Hindus are proud of Nupur Sharma, and we are disgusted by you, so-called Chief Justice of India, Jamshed Burjor Pardiwala. You don't deserve to be in Indian judicial system. We support Nupur Sharma. Hashtag support Nupur Sharma. And fuck Islamic Jihad. Om Hanumantay Namah.